Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Well, hey, welcome back to Home Dad Chat. We are just coming back from one heck of a weekend for HomeDadCon, and honestly, it was amazing. Other than the fact that when I got home, I pretty much passed out from all of
It's
this,
been
from all
a
of the things.
long time, man. Yeah.
It had been a long time. Actually, I only got a little bit of time to rest, and then it was off to the grocery store. So,
Yeah.
and also taking care of a sick wife who had a sinus infection the entire time I was gone. So,
I saw a picture of you two snuggling. I'm like, that's right. You better snuggle that woman. She got you to HomeDadCon, so you kind of owe
yeah,
it.
I am her medicine. That is for sure. So that's
Good.
good stuff there. Kids were fine. They were just being ornery and whatnot. But
Now,
man, what a weekend!
here's a question about the kids, real quick. Did they miss you?
Oh yeah, to the point where like they were trying to get me to come home since I was only like 15-20 minute drive from the
Yeah.
house, but
Yeah.
I put the kibosh on that. That wasn't
Yeah.
happening. So
Well, remember we talked previously about setting those boundaries.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I had to ask my kids if they missed me. I only had one of them. Marcus, my 8-year-old, he saw me. I went up and got, walked up. He's up in a bunk bed. And he's like, "Dad, you're back!" And he grabbed me and hugged me, and he just woke him up. Lizzie doesn't wake up well, and she's went, "School now." I'm like, Dad's home. Dad, it's Dad. Okay,
You're
fine, that's cool.
bothering my
Yeah,
sleeping time,
right. It
Dad.
didn't matter at that point. Yeah, and my
Jeez.
teenager's like, "Hey, Dad, cool," and they just kept going. I'm like, "Well, can I get a hug?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so I asked him later. I'm like, "Baby, did you miss me?" He's like, "Yeah, of course." I'm like, "Could you tell me?" And he's like, "I missed you, Dad." And then then I'm like, "Fine, you 15-year-old, go on."
No
Anyway,
kidding.
go ahead. I didn't mean to derail you, man.
No, you're good. I thought it was cool to see all. The thing I always like about the end is when guys go home and they do show pictures of like, them with their kids,
Hmm.
just kind of that sort of
Yeah.
deal. So I did take a couple pictures of that of the kids because they were waiting on the porch for me when I got home. So yeah, so I took those pictures real quick. But
Hmm.
yeah, man, I mean, what a an amazing weekend. We had 29 first timers. So that's a huge number.
29. All right. I think there's like 6 I didn't meet. So I'm sorry, guys. I'll find you.
Yeah, and that even included a couple of guys like there were a couple of speakers who stuck around too that was their first time as well. So we had 29 first timers. It was pretty awesome, honestly.
Sweet.
And 7 city dads groups were or city dad group organizers were actually there, so that was really cool too.
Repping their
um
home. Yeah.
yeah, there was one that didn't make it in the group shot for some reason, but yeah, there were 7 total. So but that was good. uh I honestly, I'm still taken aback by the amount of like gratitude and appreciation dudes kept coming up to me and showing me. Like, honestly, like, I mean, I was just there trying to put it on and have a good convention. And these guys were like, hey, like, I brought this for you to like, just as a thank you for,
Uh-huh.
putting this on, and like filled my cigar box with
Nice.
cigars, and filled my bourbon shelf the rest of the way with with bourbon. It was nuts. So which I have one here to we have one that we got to each get to share,
We
which I'm
should tell that
excited.
story. One of us
Yeah.
should tell that story. Yeah.
I yeah, I think it's a two-part story. So you can tell the first part and then I'll tell the second part. So what
I
were
don't
we
know the
doing?
second part.
That's right. So you tell the first part.
Okay, good. Because there we go. Yeah. Well, Wednesday we went over to can't remember the name of the rental place. So anyway, picked up 2 cargo vans, 2 really nice transit vans. One really nice transit van, and one like, it's a transit van. We'll be all right. Turns out they gave me the better one, and I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't think so.
You know,
Mine
Yeah,
had
man.
doors. Mine had doors that all I had to do was push a button and they'd open and closed.
I don't know, man. That seems kind of weak.
Well, the guys seemed to not be able to figure it out. They kept wanting to pull the door closed. I'm like, just hit it once and it'll do all of its stuff on their own.
Just touch the button and stop touching the button. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like my kids, man. But yeah, anyway, so we went over and got a couple of vans, went over to the hotel, got the guys almost right on time, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we were right there.
Boom, we were out the door. And I have to say, one of my favorite parts about the whole day was the road trip. It was a ways out to the first place, whose name I can't remember right now, but over by the cigar shop.
Yeah, we went to Capitol Cellars is what it was in Frankfurt.
Yeah. Now that was I don't want the word I thought of might be cute, but it may not like fit it well, but it was a really nice, well done, almost like a hometown deli or a mom and pop store kind of thing.
It was very
really
quaint,
homey feel.
It was very quaint. It was very quaint.
They had a nice little bar there for everybody was doing that. That was cool. But the drive over, man, it was me and Big Jeremy, Big J, my dude, Jeremy Haston, sitting beside me.
He's Jailbird Haston.
That's right. That's right. Jailbird, get up here. And he's driving and he's like, we'd already talked about karaoke. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'll go. Wherever we karaoke, I'll go. Let's do it. And he's like, yeah, that's great. So I know I'm getting in the van. I'm pop on pop on Spotify with the HomeDadCon.
Oh yeah, the playlist. Yeah.
And go boom. And it comes on and it was Sweet Caroline was the song of the trip, right? Of course.
Oh, of course.
But whatever song came on first, we were like, yeah, sing it along or whatever. And then it was like a 3-4 minute song. And then the second one started, and about halfway through it, Jeremy looks around and everybody in the back is just silent. And they're all just sitting there, just like introspectively staring out the window, like, huh. And like this collective sigh just went up of all these dads that have been in their house for 2 years minimum, stuck with everybody, caretaking, doing their thing, and it just reached that point where they just need a break.
Yes.
Just give me, it was like they were in a hot tub of bubbles or something. And we looked at it for a minute. You only let it go for a minute or two, and Jeremy's like, "All right, what's going on? What's wrong back there?" And somebody's like, "We're not toddlers. Silence isn't scary. It's fine. We'll be all right." But it was a great trip. It really was. The road trip out. I mean, it was, I didn't know how far it was. And that was just me I'm like, no, I'll just, I'll GPS it and follow Barack if I have to, and we'll get there.
Yeah, no, you guys were making fun of me because at one point we turned off and we were driving through what I call God's country. And you guys were all concerned that we were driving to where we were going to hear banjos or something.
We were thinking you were going to drag us out somewhere and kill us. We were not sure. We thought you had enough of our poop, and you were like, "Done, dude, you're all done." But no, but we went a really long way, man, and we were all. I don't know if everybody was thinking this, but I was like, "Wow, we go to."
It's because it wanted to
right there, but no, you made the right choice.
It wanted to route us. Yeah, it wanted to route us around all the morning traffic that's down there off of 64. So I completely understand why it did it. But yeah, it was. I mean, that part was a beautiful drive because you had all the old Civil War walls and just all the ranches, just all the different places. So it was a good drive.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
That cigar place though, that they found, holy mackerel, that was awesome.
Smoking one right now, Kentucky Gentleman.
You got the Kentucky Gentleman?
Based on the hand rolling techniques of the guy. Now, the guy's father started it, and they grow their own tobacco. And they, when they infuse it, they will use locally made bourbons to infuse it. And for anybody that doesn't smoke, an infusion is basically just like a little bit of a taste or a scent to it. It's not really like, there's no bourbon in this cigar. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But it's got there's a certain just like neediness to it is the best way I can say to describe it. And they make it all themselves.
Yeah.
They hand roll all their own cigars. I'm like, I hope they're good. I really hope they're good, but I need to get one of these, get a couple of these really, and just see how they are. Because to have somebody, I mean, I've grown tobacco. It's not too hard, but then the drying process and everything else you've got to do to cure it really made it something I didn't want to do ever again, really. But they're out there. That's what they do. That's their life.
Oh yeah,
growing tobacco, making cigars, working with the local bourbon producers. Yeah, that was a
It was
store.
that store was cool too. It was a big store, honestly,
Mhm.
but it had like, just the humidor in the back, and it was just kind of an area where you could just hang out. The
Yeah.
the Joker, Jack
Mhm.
Nicholson painting on the wall was pretty awesome with him
Yeah, yeah,
smoking a cigar.
yeah.
But the thing I found out while we were there was that like they have a really nice deal for veterans.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was standing there and I was like reading this poster, and basically they said, yeah, we honor our veterans by either giving you 10% off a cigar, or you can have a free cigar, if or like 10% off your purchase, or you can have a free cigar or something. I was like, shoot, I'll take a free cigar. And so like I went back and picked a different one out. So I ended up getting a Kentucky Cuban, which is
Mhm.
basically they grow the same type of Cuban seed, but they grow it in Kentucky. And so I haven't actually tried that one yet. It's sitting in my box. And then I ended up getting the gentleman, the Kentucky gentleman, I think is what it was, but it's not the one you have. It's the last rendition that the owner made before he died last year. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab one of these up for sure. So
Right. Yeah,
like,
just for the history of it. You know.
yeah, yeah. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, we did that, and then we went to Buffalo Trace because it's just down the road
Mhm.
from there, and we didn't do a tour, but we
Yeah.
but we sure bought lots of bourbon.
I got a really, really cool long sleeve dry fit wicking,
I
type
saw
shirt.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
George T. Stagg.
yeah, for Stag. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, and I wanted to get a T-shirt. That's what I wanted, but I really couldn't find anything that was, what I wanted, my size or whatever. But I saw that one. I'm like, okay, I'm in Wisconsin now. I can buy long sleeve shirts.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
and it
enjoy it.
ended up needing it,
you
which was
yeah, it got a
even
little
funnier.
it got a little chilly in
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
yeah,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
that was fun. Drove to we had lunch. That was
Mhm.
good too. Lunch was nice. Where we were at, I forget, it was like Goodwood, or was that right? Goodwood? I think
Goodwood,
it was Goodwood.
Goodwood.
Yeah. So I had some lunch at Goodwood, and
It
then
was it
went,
was one word, guys. Stop it. Why are
yeah,
you giggling?
one word. Yep. And
Damn,
then
bunch of 12-year-olds out
everybody's a junior higher at heart.
there.
So,
Yeah,
and
Goodwood.
then we went to
Goodwood.
Three Boys Farm and Distillery, which happens to have no connection to Three Boys any at all, because they apparently want nothing to do with their dad's distillery, which
Yeah,
I thought was hilarious.
yeah. The
although
boys moved on and the women took over.
although I heard that Charlie's boys, who he has three boys, when they saw his shirt, thought that the distillery was something for them. And I was like, well, maybe you need to take over it. So, but yeah, that was a fun experience. And then like so
They had
then
a
we
great dog. Just gonna just say
oh,
that
that dog was
the
amazing.
uh, Ramariner, I think it was. Was it a
Yes.
Ramariner? Yeah, and
Yep.
he was. Or
Yep.
she. I'm sorry. She's a big girl, and
Hmm.
she was super sweet. And
She
she was
sat there
just
like
like,
she was the Sphinx, man.
right, yeah, just waiting. You guys, I know you guys are going to bring me treats soon, so I'm just going to wait for my food. And it was and just a very, very good dog. And you can't, I don't
Yeah.
know. And every experience can be better with a good dog,
Yep.
just like part of it. Anyway, I
So
mean,
we did that, and then we started to kick on back, and you took a crew back just straight to the hotel, and I took another crew to Party Source. So um
took myself back to the hotel. I'm
took
sorry.
you back. Well, yeah,
I
but
took myself back. I was so tired.
you also
Dude,
grabbed
I'm
some
like,
people too,
I
which was
was,
nice from
yeah,
the from the
I was
airport.
like, somebody please, does anybody want to go back to the hotel? That'd be cool. I'll do that for you. I'll do that because that's the kind of, please let me go back to the hotel. But yeah, but then we picked up guys from the airport and you went to Party Source.
We went to Party Source. Yeah, when we were at Party Source, that was sort of I was hoping to get them in at New Rift, but they were closing. So we went into the Party Source itself,
Now tell us
and
what New Riff is. You got to remember.
yeah, New
We
Rift
don't all know
Distillery.
what you know.
Right, New Rift Distillery. So it's the distillery that's on the same property as Party Source. Basically, the former owner of Party Source decided to drill like 100 and some feet below the parking lot and hit a natural aquifer out there. And
Oh yeah,
so he decided at that point to build a distillery. So
sure,
that's where New Riff came from.
like
And
you do.
he's actually doing a brewery out there too. He's adding on to that building. So,
Cool, cool.
but the liquor store is actually staff owned, so that's really cool too. or employee owned. But yeah, while we were in there, I walked in and I was helping the guys try to find something. They were like, what are some bourbons in here that you'd like that you haven't had a chance to get? And I was so tired, like I had no idea that this question was actually like fully directed at me, as more of just like a suggestion to them kind of deal. And I pointed at a bottle of Old Elk, and I was like, that bottle there is one that I've yet to pull the trigger on, but I've been highly interested in for quite a while. And I walked away to go talk to somebody else, and unbeknownst to me, they sneakily grabbed 2 bottles of it and walked to the register. And I never saw it once until we got back to the hotel, and they presented them to you and me. And I was like, holy cow, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
So we have them here. They're so it's batch 2. It's a 105 proof Old Elk small batch, and it's a beautiful bottle with an actual like antler top that they've got here, and it's got a nice big mouth on it, but it's got a good pop too.
It's got a.
Oh, there you got a good one. That was a good one. So
I'll just say it's because I'm a pro. But no, that's not
it. And I'm gonna pour mine into my my personal Nick Sabatke pouring cup or rocks glass that he made me. This is handmade. That he
I didn't know he was a pot. Well, I don't know much.
He's a
about
potter.
him.
Yeah, he's a potter. And so I've seen some of his stuff, and he knows that I like the color blue. And so he got me this. And actually, I came up to the room with a pour of E.H. Taylor from the bar, and he took it from me and said, "Sit this down. I got something for you." He hands me this. And he says, "That belongs in a better vessel than what it's in." And so we poured it in here and drank the rest of it.
Nice.
But it's very cool. I most people, they like to see their bourbon or whatever through the glass. I don't mind mine being hidden, but it looks like gold in the glass. I can't really tell.
It does, yeah.
It's delicious. So anyway, an awesome, amazing weekend. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers,
virtual cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's good. That's really tasty. It's got a little bit of heat on it.
Does not burn my tongue at all. Did not burn my mouth, only burned when I swallowed.
Yep, it's the throat. That's called a Kentucky hug, my friend. That is the Kentucky hug. Remember, we talked about that with Keith.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got weird from there, so we're going to move on.
Okay, anyway. So, yeah, man. I mean, amazing speakers. I still say my 2 favorite parts of the speakers were the sexual relationship panel that I moderated. That had an amazing conversation, which I think is going to have some cool stuff come out of it. We're working on building a community of guys that can feel comfortable and safe having conversations like we had in that panel on a regular basis. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And it's going to take place more than likely on Slack instead of on Facebook. So that way guys who aren't on Facebook can be a part of it. We're going to utilize Slack a little bit more in that context because there's a lot of guys trying to get away from it. So that was cool. And then Miles and Al Watts just knocked it out of the frigging park with their talk. And then also to then jump in and volunteer to enter into an open slot for a breakout session and continue the conversation was really cool too. So those were my two big highlights as far as speakers go.
We should talk a little bit more about what they were talking about and what the session after was about, because we may have people that weren't there or don't have a program in front of them.
Yeah. So we'll start with Al and Miles. Miles is a trans boy, and he's
mask.
What is
masculine? Trans mask is masculine.
Transmasculine. Oh, transmask. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I'm still working on it.
You're doing it, man.
And so he just has an amazing story, and Al and Miles basically walked us through what the conversations were like, and just sort of realizations that Miles had as he was growing up, and just the different, like just the journey that he's been on over the past few years. And it was very transparent and very open. And I think it's a platform that not a lot of trans folks get the opportunity to have a safe place to share like that on. And you know, there were a lot of great questions afterwards, and there were just, I think, so many we had to cut them off, that when we announced that we had an open slot because of one of our speakers sadly coming down with COVID, that they were like, we'll take that slot and continue the conversation and give guys the chance to continue talking to us. And I was just like, this is great. Like, I was busy doing other things, so I couldn't set in on it. But there was probably at least 6 to 8 guys in there, which was awesome. So
yeah.
So that was cool. And then, yeah, the sexual relationship one with Emma Schmidt and her team was great, because there was a lot of already like pre-written questions that we spent time collecting. And I could tell from the questions who they were from, and based on who was in the audience, I made sure to get those questions asked. And so that was really cool, because that way those guys were getting information, and then also to everybody else was getting it without it being known who they were or anything like that. Like I even changed because some of them said like wife or, you know, other different like titles, and I changed them to be just like straight up like spouse, partner type of deal.
Partner,
So
yeah.
you couldn't tell like who was who. And that seemed to go really well. But it was awesome. There was a lot of good connections there. And like I said, like, you know, this Slack channel that we're going to build is probably one of the really neat things that's going to come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, man? What was some of your highlights?
I think my favorite, there was a guy on Saturday that did just almost impromptu breakout about what's for dinner. And
Boy, you're really, wow.
Do you see how serious I was? I had you going,
man. I was like listening. I'm like, who is this guy? And
who are you talking about?
For anybody who doesn't know, he's talking about himself.
Yep, like I do. No, and this is I am listed on the sheet for this one, the mental health checkout. I'm sorry, not mental check. Mental health breakout support group session. I'm listed on that, but that's really Lauren Jaffe's baby deal program. He asked me to help him, and I'm happy to do it. Lauren, as I've said a million times and will keep saying, he's my hero. I mean, he's just one of those guys that, like, it's kind of easy for me to stand up and talk in front of people, no matter what I'm talking about. There are subjects that is hard to talk about for me. And some of it is, you know, my trauma and the reason I have mental health issues or have issues in the past, and how I've dealt with them or how I'm not dealing with some of them, whatever it may be. And that's difficult in itself. And I'm an extrovert, and I get recharged talking to people. I love standing in front of people and talking to them and getting them talking to each other and that kind of thing. But Lauren is not that way.
No,
Lauren's much more almost he's an introvert. He's almost shy or retiring almost. He's not when you get him, like we played cards that night and I was like, yeah, man, that's right. And it was just hilarious. We had a great time, and him and I hung out for a long time on Sunday and went on a little treasure hunt and all that. And
I know you ended up like 10 minutes from my house, dude.
Yeah. I didn't know where we were even going.
If I was not so tired and dealing with a sick wife, I'd have been in my car and over there in a heartbeat, dude. Seriously, I would have been over there. But I was like, between everything that she had dealt with, I was like, there is no way I'm getting out of this house.
Yeah. You don't leave now. Yeah, you're not going to make it, unfortunately. So, but I really would say that for me, that was my highlight.
Nice.
I've been going to the mental health support group for 6 years since Lauren started running it, and it's a time for me to be able to tell my story. And to be able to say the things that are very, very hard to say. Yeah. And then it's a time for us to talk about our mental health, you know, what we're feeling, how it affects us in our daily lives. We talked about anxiety for a long time and how just far reaching anxiety can be. You don't even realize that's the cause, or that's what it's, you know, where it comes from. So it was really, really good for me. And I have to say that, the reason I think it was good for me is because it really helped solidify what I want to do when I grow up. You know, I do. And I want to get my degree and become a counselor, psychologist. I want to help other people. And I've said that, yeah, I kind of want to do that. And coming out of that first session, I'm like, no, I got to write this down. I got to get this started. I've got to put a plan in place and live the life that I want to live, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was probably honestly the highlight because it really hit me personally. Ben Killoy had talked about your
Ben
vision,
Killoy. Yeah.
that I said, no, Killoy.
I think it's Killoy.
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 Look, hey, Ben, if I say your name wrong, come get me, man. What you got? Maureen? No, I'm kidding, Ben. I'm kidding. I'm a fat old man. Don't do it. I'll die. But Ben had an interesting thing, and it's kind of a fairly common idea is to just kind of envision where you would be, like in a year is what he said, and it could be 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But one of the things he said is like, so if you had a magic wand, what would your life be like? He said also when I talked to him after, he's also said sometimes if you had $1 million a year from now, what would your life be like? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it. There's a lot of stuff that I thought about, different things. He mentioned, what would how would your relationship with your partner be? And I'm like, yeah, probably the same. Marty and I we're good. I mean, we're looking for a counselor now just because we want to get a checkup.
Yeah.
Been 16 years married and we want to just think it's a good idea. It's kind of like you should go get a physical checkup, right? But envisioning where I wanted to be, I was like, I don't think I'm doing everything I can. I want to help out. I want to do more. I want to motivate other people,
Yeah.
And it kind of tied together with Rodney Kellum, the closing speaker.
Rodney Kellum. Yep.
I did say it right. Okay.
You got it right.
And,
you nailed it.
And Mr. Kellum, sir, you're or living in Atlanta now, at least. And that's my hometown. I hope they're treating you right. If they're not, you call me. No, again, they won't know. But hey, Danny Mercer University, that's a coincidence, but it might not be. So if you need something. No, but I walked away from it and I said, what I want is I want someday to leave people feeling like I was feeling after his presentation. I want to give somebody else that feeling. I want them to be energized and focused, and to get out of this rut of what it means to be a stay-at-home dad, to own it, and to really realize you're valuable and your value and the importance of who you are. And that's what I took out of those two things.
Cool.
So for me, it was just it's a really pivotal moment, I think, in my personal, journey, I guess, life. So yeah, that was it for me. And I hate to say that because there was so much good stuff.
Oh yeah.
I really, really quick, we had a little bit of a change of schedule on Saturday morning. Yeah. So I went to see, let me think of the title. I'm going to look it up now. Building a More Gender Equitable World.
Oh yeah, Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson.
Yeah, he's from Fathering Together.
Okay. Yeah.
He's the co-founder of Fathering Together.
And a fantastic speaker. He really just brought you into the conversation about what it means to be equitable, both in your home and in the world. And we actually talked about a lot of subjects off of it. And he was very good about letting the dynamic growth of a conversation happen in the audience and just kind of tossing us little nuggets of wisdom every now and then. So I really enjoyed listening to him.
Nice.
I wouldn't have gotten a chance. So I'm really glad that all came together so that I could.
Yeah.
It really helped me too. Because when we're looking at equity, and especially if we're talking about gender equity in our home, that talks a lot about, like a question he asks is, so if you asked your spouse, what percentage of the housework do you do? And you have in your mind how much you do. And they tell you how much they think they do. And then you ask them how much they think you do. It should be the other percentage, but you probably already got that answer. And you compare the numbers, right? Now, I'm not going to do this with my wife. That's a fight waiting to happen because she's not, well, I really think she'd feel guilty because she never feels like she does enough.
That's really probably where my wife would be too.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but not enough. No, you do enough. You got your, thing. But it was really cool to think about it. Because again, it's extending that conversation in your relationship. It's extending that talking, getting to really just listen to your partner and say, hey, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm not feeling like I'm, really where I want to be. and make it about yourself like you should in any type of conversation like that. But to give them the opportunity to show you how much they love you,
Definitely.
you know, and for you to do that in return. So that one for me was
Well,
also
I'm gonna interject here with a plug about
Ooh.
the convention and something that maybe some people who are listening don't know about. So one of the things that changed this year and hasn't really been announced all that much is the fact that you can become a member of the National At Home Dad Network, or even like what I would consider to be like a supporter is another way to look at it. So just like NPR, you know, like they always have like the supporter drives type of deal. So we have split the whole like members are those who attend the convention type of deal, and we've cut it in two. So you can be a member and not go to HomeDadCon, and you can be a member and go to HomeDadCon. You can not do the I'm not going to be a member but go to HomeDadCon. Like that's the only one that doesn't fit in there. So but for like anybody who's like, man, I really want to see the content, the things that happened at the convention, we recorded almost everything. The only things that we did not record were the mental health breakout sessions, because there's absolutely no reason to record those. Those are very personal. And the sexual relationship panel we did not record as well, because that too also had a very personal element to it as well.
Yep.
That aside, everything else was recorded, minus also to Al and Miles, their little impromptu breakout that wasn't in there either. So me and I think maybe Keith Nagel are working on like getting stuff. It's mostly me, honestly, getting things put together. So it'll be a couple of weeks, but if that's something that interests you, all you got to do is go to the website and go to the membership area and pay your $35, and it makes you a member for up until next HomeDadCon, and it'll get you access to that content and other things that we are in the process of working out that'll happen throughout the year. So including, you know, just, you know, maybe some behind the scenes sneak peek stuff at webinars or something along those lines. Like, you know, we're kind of trying to figure it all out, but also could mean too, if we get, you know, some sort of deal with a brand and we only can get so much, if you're a member, like you're going to get first crack at it. So, and we've definitely started to draw attention from other people, especially after being one of the you know, few that have pulled off a convention like we have here. And right now I keep saying like, it's, you know, it was a success, it was great. What will make this honestly the gold stamp success for me is if in like the next week or so we have absolutely zero reports of any COVID cases that came out of it. And to me, like that will be the big seal for me as well. But in all, like the programming and everything else, like it was a huge success. So
we've already had a lot of guys. I shouldn't say a lot, but including myself, I know of probably 6 guys who have said, yeah, I went ahead and got a quick one, and I've got another one scheduled. You know, one that takes a little bit longer.
Yep.
And they've all been negative results at this point.
Yeah.
That's a small sampling, you know, but everybody did really well.
They did.
We have been wearing a mask and in quarantine for 2.5 years, and to finally get around to hang out with your brothers and your tribe, you know,
it was pretty emotional.
Almost every single, it was, yeah, you know, I got emotional, but almost to a person, every single thing, every single breakout. And some guys, they looked around, oh, got to put my mask on, you know, or back on, because after lunch or whatever, after eating, but everybody was really good about keeping their mask on. You know, we broke that 6-foot safety distance quite a bit, because there was a lot of hugging, you know. But
but we were
honestly,
all vaccinated. But we were all vaccinated.
We're all being careful. And man, I needed my hugs.
It was, yeah, no, it was good, man.
It was so many
good.
guys. I'm like, I need to hug you. Can you okay with hug? Come on in here. You know, it was really a good.
I loved your vote for Danny stickers with the safe for a hug. Like that was really creative.
You know, I remember back in Raleigh 1, and I hate to keep harkening back, you know, to the olden days, but Alex Harwood,
right,
was the man's name.
Yep,
He was
I remember Alex.
He was up for the board, And I didn't even know there was a board. I didn't know anything about it. And he comes over and he introduced himself and he's talking to people and he's running the IG, the Instagram contest, telling us about how to take pictures or whatever. And he goes, okay. Oh yeah. And also here. And he gave me a little button,
Yep.
said vote for Alex,
Vote for Alex.
and I
yep.
went, oh, so I was thinking about that. And I'm like, all right, so we got 3 other guys. They were all good guys. I'm going to make it a contest. I'm going to push to win. I mean, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I was looking around, I went to Staples and I said, I want a sticker that says vote for Danny.
Yep.
I wanted one of that big, stupid orange thing behind me. The last podcast we had, everybody saw the video. It was just a big, stupid orange circle, vote for Danny. Then I saw that one, safe for hugs.
Yeah.
Vote for Danny, and yeah, it was hilarious. And
it was really good.
I was pretty self-conscious giving them out after Alex Mustico ended up pulling his nomination. And just because he wanted the other guy, he said, I want these guys to win. I don't want there to be any contest. I want all of you guys on the board.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were a
like,
part of a very special class in the fashion of like, we didn't have a vote. It was just an affirmation of yay or nay, honestly.
Yeah, it was kind of a vote, but it was more of a yay or nay. So, but still, y'all chose me. It's your fault.
It was very British Parliament.
It was very parliamentary. Yeah.
It was very British Parliament, but it worked. So yeah, no, it was good, man. That was really cool. So yeah, we got Lou and Sergio and Danny as our 3 new board members. So and they've been getting worked out like within like 24 hours with all kinds of stuff. So, but it's good, man. It's real good. So I'm excited for that.
It's been great so far. It's really been, it's really cool too, to see a little bit of behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And the amount of work that people do on a daily basis.
Yep.
I'm glad volunteers.
I'm glad I got to walk out from behind the curtain and be like, see y'all later. I know what's going on behind that crazy wardrobe. I'm out of here.
You guys go right ahead. That's right. I'm leaving Narnia, baby. I'm leaving Narnia.
Peace out. Yeah, but it's it's definitely good. So so that was exciting. Man, there was just, I'm trying to think. Oh well,
how'd
so
the
like
soccer game go?
Soccer game was awesome. We got there in time to actually get the group picture with the mascot. So that was really cool. And he was all energized. And so we got some just amazing pictures with him. And I think the mascot was not ready to, experience 30 stay-at-home dads come down there and just be full of, just excitement. And it was a lot of fun. We had a good time with that. So yeah, so that was good. Also too, like we gave out some really cool lifetime member pins, and they made a commemorative coin. Like that was, I think, probably a big surprise to a lot of guys. Was we made the commemorative coins that on one side has the National At Home Down logo, on the other side it's got the Dads Don't Babysit logo, which we actually officially have a trademark too. So that is us. Yeah, it's kind of coming in. There it is, right there. Don't move. So yeah, so that you get that if you. Yeah, so you get that if you've either completed your full 3-year term as a board member, or you give $500 to the general fund to become a lifetime member of the organization. So, yeah, that was fun to surprise everybody with.
And it's a solid coin.
Oh yeah, it's a challenge coin. I mean, it's straight up. It's the real deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna clink one of my kids in the head with this. I can feel it.
It's gonna be my everyday carry in my pocket.
That's why I pulled it out of my pocket. I actually got it right there beside. I'm like, yeah, right here. I've kept it in my pocket since I got one. I
haven't even taken it out of the plastic sleeve that it's in. It's staying in that too. We keep it real nice and clean.
Take that little condom off. Get it.
Yeah. No.
Also, this is in no way a proponent. Always have safe sex. Just put it out. The condoms are great.
There you go. So that was fun. Although I'd say for me, like I would say for me though, the funnest thing was announcing another big thing, and I'm probably going to make you cry. But was getting to announce you as the winner of the Hogan Hilling Award for the convention. Because dude, I've never seen somebody when you say something that they like immediately like are like complete shock and just utter surprise and overwhelm. I was just like, oh wow, like I got him right in the heart.
Right in the heart.
Right in the heart. Right in the feels.
You said while you were announcing it, board members can't get it. And I'm like, safe, cool.
Yeah, but I said, yeah. But you weren't a board member when we nominated you.
Yeah, Yeah.
So just for anybody who doesn't know too, so Hogan Hilling is this amazing guy who's done a ton of volunteer stuff for the organization over the years. He's not as active with things now because he's got a lot going on, but there's an award named after him for just volunteerism in the organization. And Danny has done a ton. Like I was talking about it at the convention. Like he basically is the reason we have this podcast, guys. Like I mean, he is the guy. Like he came to me and was like, "Hey, I got this idea. You want to help me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like I got the knowledge and know-how. Like let's do this thing. Like why not?" And so I was telling them, like, I sat my personal podcast on the back burner just so that I could concentrate on this, and it's been an amazing sacrifice to do that. And then he's been a part of getting things going with a mental health check-in twice a week, and just all these different things. And now he's stepped up and he's taken on being a board member. So it's completely deserved for you to get this to have gotten that honor, man. I was so excited. Like I think it was funny, like because when we were talking, because it seems to be, and you'll find this out when the convention rolls around, and I hope it doesn't happen again this coming year, because I tried to keep it from happening last minute, but usually like within like the last like 3 weeks, like, oh yeah, we got to talk about Hogan Hilling, like who's gonna be the person. And everybody starts throwing out names. And yeah, like I threw your name out and a few other guys were like, oh yeah, like I don't think there's any argument at all. Like I don't think we can put anybody up against him that would even be closely to outdo what he's done over the past year. So yeah. So it was exciting. I to keep it under wraps was hard because I've had the certificate sitting here on my desk for a couple of weeks.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm like, how did you keep from saying that? You had to be busting half the time.
Dude,
if I'd have brought it up once, because I don't even think about it really, like you said, until you're at the convention and you think about something like
right.
that. And but I know if I'd brought it up, you'd have just exploded. I just feel it. You're good.
It would have been very hard to. It would have been very hard to keep a straight face. But yes, I've kept so many secrets from everybody about the convention itself. So
yeah,
I think the other big one was the Bearcat statue showing up.
Yeah.
So what did you think when you saw that thing, man?
It was awesome, man. I mean, and I came down because we were going. You put it up right, and when we started when we did registration.
Yep.
And everybody's ready to just get registered, get their name. And I'm like, yes, please, everybody get a name badge. Because I'm looking at people that I've known for 6 years. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, please. I'm just like, feel like it's maybe your mask. I didn't realize who you were, buddy. Yeah, but no, it's just my mind blanks on names, and I mean, I go, the guy with the hair and the thing, and yeah. Sure. But walking up to it, I was kind of, I don't know, I guess I can say that I had seen pictures of it previously.
Well,
I had an idea of what was coming, so I don't want to, tell tales out of school, but yeah, so I kind of knew it was going to be there, but seeing it was so much bigger than I thought.
Oh yeah,
not really bigger, but in person, you're just like, whoa, all right.
Well, it's 6'6", and it's on a platform, and it's 40 pounds of what do you call that stuff? Crap, I can't even think of the name of it now, but lightweight material, fiberglass. It's like 40 pounds. Yeah, it's 40 pounds of fiberglass and 6'6". So, and it's
the Bearcat is the mascot for
the University of Cincinnati, which is the number 2 football team in the country right now, which is kind of mind blowing, but awesome at the same time.
Watches twice a day.
Right, exactly. So even a blind mouse, even a blind mouse finds some cheese every once in a while. Apparently, they found the whole wheel.
They are, they're kicking butt.
But no, I mean, so you got a 6 foot tall mascot, and then on top of it, he's got a baby Bearcat strapped to his freaking chest and a red shirt on the sleeves that says Super Dad. I mean, how could you not say no to that's got to be at the convention?
That's got to be at the convention, yeah, because real men wear babies.
Yep.
Okay. All you guys out there that aren't wearing a sling yet, or carrier at least, you need to. It's so much better. Oh my God.
No kidding. Man. But yeah, so it was just awesome to have. It was just awesome to have there.
Yeah,
what was really funny too is we hit it actually in the hotel, in the office, executive office area, and they put it in a spot like when you walk in the executive office, there's like a copy room off to the right with like a window. So every time you walk in, it catches your eye immediately. You're like, oh, what is that? Yeah. But their staff the other day went in there and they took a picture with it. Like they did a selfie with it, which was hilarious. I'm like, I'm so glad you guys like got some fun out of it as well, because that's truly what it was meant to
And
be there for.
you got my picture taken with it. You
Yeah.
know, actually, me and Joe, he jumped in, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, photo
Nice.
bomb, and I'm like, heck yeah, Joe, get in here, man. But yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. I mean, that's just a great score. That's a great score.
It was, and they were so generous to just be like, here, just have it for the week. You know, like, I mean, I picked that thing up on Tuesday.
Nice.
I picked it up on Tuesday, and it sat at the hotel the whole time. So, and I just took it. I actually just took it back today. So
it still boggles my mind how light it is.
You know, and it fit in my fits in my Highlander.
Sweet. Even better.
Put the seats down in the back, and it goes right up to the back of the seats there. I didn't even have to even like move them. Like they were like the perfect, you know, this is where me and Corey sit at, and it just slid right in, and there was plenty of room for it. So it's amazing how much room's in those things.
Made for it.
Right. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Trying to think. Gosh, there was just okay. So I know we weren't going to talk totally about this, and I'll keep it brief, but during the beer share, something happened this year that's never happened before. So they put out a brown bag and were jokingly trying to take tips for the bar back, because Paul and Joe were just like pouring for everybody so that they were getting, you know, equal amounts. But on the last night, nobody had really put any money in there. I think there was like $5 in ones or something like that. And Joe and Paul got the idea. They were like, all right, listen, like this bag is to bring somebody to HomeDadCon next year. We're gonna to collect for a scholarship, and the beer share group is going to be the ones that are going to bring somebody to HomeDadCon in Phoenix.
Nice.
And I walked in, like they'd been doing this for a while that night, and I walk in, and they're like, all right, listen up. Everybody that's put in money, nobody else got anything to put in? They're like, no, because people had been coming and going. They're like, all right. And they counted up. They're like, we have raised in one night $347. And I was like, what?
Nice. Man.
These crazy fools, they were just so generous. And so, because of them, you know, they basically have covered somebody's registration for next year. So and I think even like basically almost like a hotel night stay as well, so depending on how things go. But
that's cool.
It was awesome. And so for anybody who didn't know, we're going to Phoenix next year. We'll be there September 29th through October 1st in downtown Phoenix at the Residence Inn, and it is a beautiful hotel. It's got a speakeasy in the basement. It's centrally located to so many different things, and it's newly remodeled. So, I mean, it's really, really nice in there.
Start making your plans, guys. Would you say the dates already?
September 29th through October 1st. So
September 31st.
Nope. 29th through the 1st. And
have 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've actually, since I was on the board when we got the registration, I've already got my hotel room. Everybody else will get it here soon enough. Don't worry. We got to figure out.
I'm not worried.
We got to figure out ticket prices anyway. So,
but I was hoping for. I actually had I had Marnie. I text her. I'm like, okay, so just let you know they're going to announce it soon. I just need a no-go for launch if there's an early bird special or something like that. And she's like, well, how much will it be? And I'm like, no. That's not what I'm saying. It'll be an early bird special. We're going to save money. And she, of course, will not fall for that because she's very good about the budget. And that's why I'm able to go to HomeDadCon at all. But yeah, so it's like the first time I'll ever be in Arizona, which I'm really excited about, to go and see a new city, to see,
me too,
state. I want to try. I was talking to Marnie to see if, hey, why don't we get extra days off and you go with me? We bring the kids, we all fly in and go see, something like Death Valley is close enough, for
the Grand Canyon's only a couple hours away.
Is it a couple hours? Okay. I misjudged that. I must have put it in wrong. It looked further, but either way, to be able to go there and then take the whole family, it's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen, but I like to dream, and
get somebody to watch the kids, and you and Marnie just come out then. Cause I'm bringing Corey and the kids.
Nice.
Because my sister lives 25 minutes outside of Phoenix. And so we're actually going to be there from like the Friday before through. And Corey was like, the only stipulation is I get one night with you in the hotel room. and then I'll go back and I'll spend the rest of the week with your sister and the kids at their place.
Did anyone else out there just say giggity?
Giddy giddy. Yeah.
Giggity, giggity, giggity. That do this. But anyway, yeah. And a moment, a day, even if you can get it, to reconnect with your spouse without your kids around.
Heck yeah.
Is so important. You
Yeah.
know, it is not easy. It is a sacrifice for a lot of people. It's definitely a sacrifice if we can swing it too. But just that opportunity, even if it's just a date night, is so good for your relationship.
Actually, next Monday,
I love it. Y'all are doing that.
I think next Monday, actually, my wife is trying to set up plans for us to go have a date night, because we've got like gift cards to like one of our favorite restaurants downtown. And so she's trying to get things set up for us to go on that. Yeah, dating, man, you got to keep doing it. Like, I think we keep saying that, but it's the truth. Like, it's so important. But yeah, this will also be the first time that my kids fly, like next year. Wow. Yeah, which is they're super excited. Oh my gosh. The minute I mentioned like we were going out to see my sister, they're like, oh, we get to go see Auntie Britt. Oh, this is gonna be great. Like, and they're like,
get to be on a plane.
Well, they're like, are we driving or flying? I'm like, we're flying. They're like, oh, we get to go on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have no idea what you're in for. So it's gonna be exciting. I mean, we'll talk more about that as the time goes on, because
as we get closer.
I'm actually, so you were talking about like, you realized, we'll kind of end things with this a little bit. So you realized during your time that you want to move into like counseling and that kind of thing. For me, as much as I was running around and everything that I was doing, I was truly enjoying myself. Like, I found great joy in what I was doing, and the reactions from people afterwards, even too, like just reading their comments and stuff, just gave me such like joy for the fact that these guys were having such a good time. And I sat down with Shannon Carpenter in his room, because we were talking about his book and some other different things. And he was like, how are you doing? And I was like, honestly, like, I'm ready for the next one. Like, I know I was all like, I just want this to be done and over with. But in all honesty, being at a place where like I'm managing this and, you know, orchestrating these things, and then having a team that comes alongside you and they see that you're stressed, and they just come up and they say, how are you doing? You okay? Like, do you just need a moment? Like, I can take care of something. And that was what I kept experiencing over and over again. And it was nice to just be able to break away. I didn't get to go to all the sessions, and I'm totally fine with that, because like I said, I'm going to be editing them all. But I was getting my own self-care by just getting time away after having put it all in place. You know, I would be there to kind of make sure things were going, and then I would just step back and just enjoy just a bit of, like, it's nice to just breathe out. And that was when I decided, I'm like, I'm going to help co-organize Phoenix. Aaron Smith, he's out there. He's going to be like the lead guy. I'm going to be walking alongside of him, because in no way, shape, or form should anybody have to reinvent the wheel like I had to, with absolutely like nobody to walk beside me. And, you know, and just building a team of guys. Like, there's already guys that are instant. I mean, Philip Fry about jumped out of his chair when he saw, you know, the mountains and stuff. He knew exactly where we were going. Like, within
the video.
Yeah, within a heartbeat, he knew exactly where we were going. And Arvis already knows. I told him a few weeks ago, and he's excited. And
he lives in Phoenix, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He lives in Phoenix. And then also too, there's a couple of guys since I've posted it that have said, hey, I live there. Like, guys just came out and just like, I live there. And I'm like, hey, like, we could use extra boots on the ground. And
every time,
I've already had one guy who agreed to it, so I'm going to get him connected. So it's just going to be a great opportunity. I mean, it's so close to guys in California and Texas and, you know, New Mexico and all these different places. So we're going to see like a whole different group of guys that live close. And then you have all your regulars that are like, I don't care where it is, I'll fly there, whatever. Like, so it's going to be exciting. And, you know, there's already some things that are being, you know, stirred around as far as like who we getting to come and things like that. Like, it was almost like, it was literally like, I just like closed one book and just opened another book back up, and it's like, all right, here we go again.
Let's go.
But it's exciting. So,
well, this time too, you'll be able to do a lot more with your family.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want to, you know, again, tell tales out of school, but it's not easy on your family either.
Right.
You know, a situation like this, it's demanding of them too. And that she was willing to sacrifice her time and
yeah.
energy and everything that she had to do to pick up for you. Married an awesome woman.
I will say one thing. I did hear from a number of attendees that came up and said, man, your podcast episode on like what to be ready for and like what to get your wife, your family ready for when you leave.
Set them up for
success was a super help to them. And so I was just like, that's awesome. Love it. That's great to hear. So it's nice to know that the things that you're putting out there are actually, sticking to the wall and having effect on people. So
I had several guys come up to me, and it wasn't that at all. It was because I would reach out and go, hey, I'm Danny Mercer, and they're like, yeah, I know, I heard your voice from way over there. Recognize you were on the podcast. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, yep, that's fine. I'm like, all right, I got it.
My last plug before we go.
All right, let's go.
Is pick yourself up a copy of Shannon Carpenter's new book. I'm not going to be able to get it in here. The Ultimate Stay-at-Home Dad Guide. It is available. There you go. You got it. It's available. Amazon.com. Man, this book is awesome. It's got 57 dads in it that Shannon has talked to and gotten tips from. I'm on page 2. Just saying. I actually was going around getting guys to sign where they had their quotes in, which was really fun. So I've got Al Watts's autograph. I feel really special.
You should.
And but no, man, it's a great book. He's been doing a ton of work, and he was even doing stuff there. And so if you want to see, if you definitely get the book. Even if you're not a stay-at-home dad, like buy the book, check it out, or buy it for a friend, whatever it is. Like, it's for dads. Like, truth be told, like, it's for dads. And then also too, like, if you want to see any of his other stuff that he's written recently, I believe he's written some stuff recently for CNN. He's actually working on one right now because we all are very pissed off about how Tucker Carlson is treating Pete Buttigieg and his taking time off to be with his kids.
Yep.
And he's working on that. And so I'm excited to see that come out. But yeah, man, I mean, I feel like this year is going to be much different than last year, and it's super exciting. And I'm excited to see what you're going to be doing as a board member and the things that take place there. I know that's probably
sweeping up, man. I ain't gonna do anything. I'm there to carry the broom and just watch you guys excel. That's what I'm there for.
I get to be the guy that tries to get things out of you this time instead of the opposite way around. That's what it's going to be.
Oh, and Brock, I'm sorry. No.
See, there it is,
like
right there.
Stone vault, man.
I hear you're ticklish. So, oh shoot. Well, anyways, I got a little bit left here in the cup, man. So I will say cheers, and we will sign off for the night. Cheers. Until next week. Have a good one.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.